Welcome back to ELAC. My name is Nancy Escobar, and this is another one of our Career Cafe interviews. I'm here representing the Career and Job Services team, and today we'll be interviewing Kristin Risberg. She is a principal at a continuation high school. To get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about your personal background, your personal education history, and what led you to the career path that you're in today?
I'm Dr. Kristin Risberg. I recently got my doctorate, so I'm super excited. But I grew up in Anaheim. I lived in a pretty diverse community. And I went to Magnolia High School, and I started my journey there because of what had happened, right? So I really thought my entire life I'd be a doctor. I was like really super good in school, and things were really, my parents were so proud of me. And then I hit this like 16, 17 mark where like my life just changed. I got pregnant really early, and I had my son at 17. And so lots of decisions at that point were made for me. Like there was no more going out of state or far away for college. It was have to find something super close. It was I had to get a full-time job. So at 17, I started working at Disneyland, and I had a full-time job at Disneyland, and I was in high school. I finished high school right away, on time in 1999. And then after that, I went straight into Cal State Fullerton. I probably should have went the community college route because it was really hard for me to go straight to Cal State Fullerton based on like having a son and childcare and just like money. But I did it anyway. I studied child and adolescent. Actually, I was an English major first. I thought, okay, I'll just write a book. Totally good transition from being a doctor. And English wasn't for me, reading Chaucer wasn't for me. So then I decided to study child and adolescent development because I had a son and I was really interested in like how he was growing. So I got my bachelor's degree at Cal State Fullerton, and then I was just working at Disneyland. That was in 2003. So 3 years later, I decided, I really need to do something with this degree. I'm going to get my teaching credential. So I got my teaching credential, and then I started teaching in LAUSD. I was there for 9 years as a teacher and 4 years as an instructional coach. And then I took the jump about 5 years ago and came to Orange County in Brea. And so I went back to school in 2010, and I got my master's degree and my admin credential. So then I came to Brea in 2016 as an assistant principal at the junior high. And things in Brea were very different from things in LA. And so I found myself a home in Brea at the continuation high school where I feel like this is my people. And these are the most amazing students I've ever met. Traditional college just doesn't work, or traditional high school just doesn't work for them. And we've found a way to make our education work here. And it is incredible. Just having a flexible environment for students and being able to care for them in a different way. And the alternative education world is very different than the comprehensive education world. Like we can just do different things here. My students don't have to have 6 classes a day. They don't have to be in school for 180 minutes. We are able to do all sorts of things that the comprehensive school is not able to do. So this is just, I've kind of found my niche in education.
Gives you the opportunity to be very creative too, just like in the way that the information is presented to students.
Right, absolutely. We are able to do all sorts of things that the high school doesn't do. Like I'm able to give students high school credit for getting a job, right? And I call it career exploration. And I'm able to, have them go to internships and get them a full-time job and get them work. And, we're able to accommodate students with children. Just like that probably environment that I needed that I didn't have, I'm able to like produce for these students, and they're very successful. The one downfall about continuation high school is that there's no competitive sports, and I have some amazing athletes. And so I'm really trying to change that. I'm trying to figure out a way to get them dually enrolled in the high school for at least 2 classes, maybe like an elective and their athletics. So, cause they're making it down here. They just don't make it up there. But these kids, I don't want them to miss the opportunity to like have a great high school season and move forward to a college of their choice. So we're trying to figure it out, and I'm going to, like, there's no say that I'm not. But those are just kind of things we work through, and I'm a hub for safety. So in this COVID era where students are not allowed at school, I've worked it out to become a safe zone for the city of Brea. So all of my kids will be coming to school, even though teachers aren't here. And I have tons of like staff from the district that want to be here to help my kids. So it's just going to be it's just a really awesome, like, I guess, small pathway in education. In continuation high school, teachers don't have to have their exact teaching degree. So you can have any teaching credential and then teach any subject in continuation high school. And it is the kind of hidden gem of education. My classes are no more than 15. The teachers are off at 1:35. It's kind of like the jam.
You've touched on this a little bit already, but what do you enjoy most about the work that you do, and what's like an exciting project that you're currently working on?
So this year, when you graduate from high school, for some people, it's not a big deal because they're moving on to colleges. But when you graduate from Brea Canyon, it's a big deal. Like, some of these kids didn't think that they were going to graduate, And so we had like a drive-through graduation, and these big kids, big kids, these men, high school men, 18-year-old, taller than me, would cry, like, hug me and say, "Thank you, Ms. Risberg." And their parents would look at me. We were socially distant. So their parents would look at me, and I just knew that I was in the right place. One fun project I'm working on right now is obviously the safe zone. I really want kids to come back. So what happened in California, or all over the nation, was at the end of last semester, as you guys know, school was let out early. But some schools held harmless, like gave kids just passing grades, so that they weren't affected. Our district decided not to hold harmless and fully give grades. And so I'd say I probably have 30 more students than I expected this year because they just missed a whole semester. Students that would have never seen the doors of our continuation high school have to come down because of the missing 30 credits or 30 units. And so I guess part of that project is building community now with kids that really have the stigma of continuation high school. They're coming here and they're really upset about it. And that needs to change because that's not who we are here. So that's probably a good project that I'm working on. But I think the best moment I've had was when they graduated. But every day is a good day if they're here. And, it's little things like Jesus always says, "Hi, Ms. Risberg, you look beautiful today." And I'm like, "You look beautiful today." Just little things. I'm glad to see them every day. So.
You do look beautiful today.
Thank you. He always says it, even though I'm looking like trash, so it's fine.
What skills do you think are most important for someone who wants to be, you can answer for like the field of education, for continuation high school in general, just someone who's looking to be like a service to students in the area that you're in?
Yeah. So I was a teacher, I was a bartender. I worked at Disneyland for 10 years as a bartender. And I would say in every single job that I've had, I've been very successful because I'm able to build relationships. I think that is key for anything, I think the reason why continuation kids come to continuation high school usually is because they have never had a good relationship with an adult in any of their educational experiences, right? Most students that are successful have good relationships with peers and adults. And, it could come in the form of like not being able to control their emotions, having some anger issues, abandonment issues, I think even systemic racism, all of those things happen to students. That is true, right? But the ones that are saved usually have a really great relationship with someone or has built a relationship with someone. And so that's what I teach my students here to do, right? I could have been the worst bartender, but my managers would have always helped me if we had a great relationship together, right? I'm not the best principal at all. Like, I am not. But because I build relationships, my parents understand when I made a mistake. Hey, I'm really sorry. That was my bad. I can't believe I told you that when I didn't even ask for permission. It's all about like that trust and that relationship with people. I'd say a really great skill is communication. I'm an over communicator. So my teachers get emails and texts from me, and I talk to them on a daily basis. I run around here and talk to every single person I can. I'm a huge communicator, in person, in writing, in email, any way that I can communicate, I do. And those are, I think, the two skills that have gotten me as far as I've gotten. I recently was promoted, and so now I'm also the principal of the online school in my district, so the TK through 6 online school. And I think that the only way I'll be successful at doing all of these jobs is to be a good communicator.